Day 10 of the 30-day movie challenge. A movie that is also a book that I love. Let's get into it. Hello everyone, welcome back to day 10 of this 30-day movie challenge that is now going to be a 31-day movie challenge. 31 days in the month. I'm going to add my own question to day 31. Let's keep an eye out for that. Come the end of the month. So, a movie that is also a book that I love. Now, I could have gone two ways with this because in my mind, obviously, I read a lot of graphic novels and comic books, and there's a lot of films that we get that are inspired directly from graphic novels, and then there's books, proper works of fiction, and stuff like that that have been made into movies. So I opted for the proper book route, but if I was going to pick a graphic novel, it would have been Alan Moore's Watchmen, obviously adapted into a film by Zack Snyder, a film that I do really like. This was a graphic novel that was deemed to be unfilmable, but they done it. They altered stuff in it, they altered the ending, but I think what they done proved to be fabulous ultimately in the end. But because I like both book and film, I chose to go another way. Interestingly, this is actually signed by the artist who drew it, Dave Gibbons. Anyway, that aside, now I've chosen a book, and for good reason. And I love this book. However, I've only read it once, and it is Moby Dick from Herman Melville. It's a very difficult read because the time in which this book was published. Now, this book was first published in 1851, so it's considered a classic, and for good reason. But like I said, it is a difficult read, primarily because of the wording in it, the descriptive nature of a lot of the book. It takes its time, it doesn't rush to get anywhere, and the biggest issue with picking this book up and reading it today, like I said, is the language utilised within, more so than anything else, in that it's almost Shakespearean, shall we say, for want of a better analogy. What I'm saying is that there's a lot of use of words in this book that and the way language has changed. Language has changed since then to now. Drastically. This is written in a different language, shall we say. It's akin to reading something in a different language. It's really difficult to describe, to get what I'm saying out, but it's the words that it uses, the descriptive nature of the words. You'd be better off reading it with a dictionary beside you or a thesaurus to get an understanding of what it's saying. That being said, it's a fabulous book. Now, I do enjoy reading because reading, it does increase vocabulary. Vocabulary is something you can't memorise. It's something that you learn. You have to learn. And the only way to learn is by reading extensively, and it opens up your vocabulary to other words to utilise within the English language, which is great, and it's a fantastic language as well. But anyway, so Moby Dick. I've read it the once, and it was a very difficult read. It's a very difficult read, but I do love the book. It speaks to me in the era that it's set in, the hunt for the shark and all this, whale, the white whale. I've got Jaws on the brain. The hunt for the white whale. I mean, it might be one of the reasons why Jaws is one of my favourite films, and then I'm drawn to this as well. I love that sort of life at sea and the unknown below and all this sort of a thing. And it's, you know, it's just a great book. But anyway, so it is a film, 1956, Gregory Peck, Moby Dick, which funnily enough I don't have in the collection. Why don't I have it in the collection? It's a great film. It is a great film. However, I feel that Moby Dick is a movie that needs a big budget retelling, a big budget adaptation, and I mean straight adaptation. Now, I do know that a few years ago there was that movie Heart of the Sea, directed by oh, my mind's gone blank there, Ron Howard, and it starred Chris Hemsworth, and it's meant to be the story of what happened that inspired the writer of Moby Dick, that sort of a thing. But I'm talking about this film deserves a big budget straight adaptation remake. That's what this book needs. Now in 1998, I believe it was, Hallmark commissioned and released the Patrick Stewart version. Patrick Stewart, fantastic actor. Couldn't think of anyone to cast better as Captain Ahab. And unfortunately, it wasn't as big budget as what it could be. There has been some other adaptations of the film since. I say that because I've actually got one here, which was a TV one, I believe, if I recall correctly. Donald Sutherland, Ethan Hawke, William Hurt, Gillian Anderson in it. Yeah, it's a film that I think needs a big budget version done, and for that reason, that's why I've chose this book, because it's one that I do feel that needs that done to it, given that love again on film, proper big. But unfortunately, Hollywood and the way Hollywood goes, I don't think we would get it. I think it would be too much of a risk for them. I believe Heart of the Sea didn't do particularly well for them. When they make a film that is set on the high seas, with the exception of maybe Pirates of the Caribbean, they don't generally fare very well. You know, Master and Commander, that sort of a film. They look great. Films like that look great, but unfortunately people don't generally gravitate towards them for some reason. I don't know why. But anyway, so there is my pick of book that I love. It's also a film. I will have to have a look at. I will have to look at getting the 1956 one actually at some point on Blu-ray. Yeah, but I wouldn't watch it too often because it's outside of my era of film. Do you know what I mean? Although it's still a fantastic movie. It is a fantastic movie, very well done, but a bit old. And I'd like a bigger budget version made. So I'm rambling, so we're going to put that to bed. Is there a book that you love? A book that you've read that you love that is also a film? Let me know in the comments down below. Even a graphic novel, if it comes to graphic novel, let me know. One that I do want to read is the Harold Fry book. After watching the Pilgrimage of Harold Fry the other day and really rating it, and said to my son, oh no, my son saw my review and said, oh, I've actually read that book. Have you? All right, well, lend it to me then, because I want to give it a read. I don't know if he got it still though, but we'll find out. Anyway, it's AJ, thanks for watching, and I'll be back tomorrow with